Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Dani. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to crochet this beautiful blanket. It is super simple to make. You can crochet one square at a time. It is made square by square, as you can see, and it is very beginner friendly. We're gonna be using the half double crochet, working through the back loop only, and the yarn that we're using is a very nice variegated yarn that gives this super cool look. And before we get into today's pattern, I want to give you a quick reminder that you can find the free written instructions on my blog, as well as all the materials and everything that you need to know. And all the materials and dimensions and everything are going to be listed in the description below. So check it out and pull up the written instructions. And now let's see what we need to crochet this blanket. So the yarn that I'm going to be using is Landscape Breeze by Lion brand. This is a worsted weight number 4. The skein comes with 90 grams, as you can see, and this beautiful color, it's called Willow. And you're going to need approximately 10 skeins of yarn to crochet this blanket. We're making a lap gan size. You will also need a 6mm hook, a tapestry needle to weave in your ends, a pair of scissors, and some stitch markers, any kind. This is the square. The square measures 7 by 7 inches, and we're gonna need 40 of them. And as you can see, it's very simple, just half double crochet, working through the back loop only. So to begin the square, you're going to start with your foundation chain. And we need 24 stitches for the square, so we're going to chain 25. Make sure your chain is not too loose or too tight, so we can have the perfect tension. Now in the second chain from the hook, you're going to make a half double crochet. And you're gonna continue working with half double crochet all the way across your chain. You should have 24 stitches at the end of your row. Once you get to the end, you're going to chain 1. This is how it should be looking like. For row 2, you're going to chain 1, turn your work. And now we're going to be working through the back loop only. So the loop that you see in here, this is like a little V. You're going to work in the back loop only. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop, and then finish your half double crochet. And you're gonna continue doing the same thing. Another half double crochet in the back loop, and you're gonna repeat these over and over and over again until you have 14 rows in total. You need 14 rows to complete your square. So here I have my last stitch. Make sure you're not skipping that last stitch. That sometimes we can forget. If you need to put a stitch marker, go ahead and do that. And now again, chain 1 and turn, and we're gonna continue with the same pattern. That is all we're gonna do. We're going to be making the squares. Again, they're 24 stitches by 14 rows. And they should measure 7 by 7. If it's not perfect, you can pull it a little bit and you're gonna have your square, don't worry. When you're done, we're gonna pretend that I'm done in here. This is half a square, don't worry. We're going to pull the yarn to secure so that your square is nice and perfect. Now you need to weave in your ends, both of those ends. And now you need to crochet a lot of squares, 40 to be exact. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, you can crochet one square at a time, so don't worry about it. Now we're going to be joining the squares, and we're gonna have one that has the lines horizontally and the other one next to it, it's gonna have the lines vertically. That's what's gonna give that nice look to the blanket. So you're gonna continue putting one horizontal and one vertical, and we're going to start joining the rows first, all 8 rows, and then your columns. So you're gonna place both squares, the first 2 that you're going to join, and in here I like to use 2 stitch markers just so I align the squares perfectly, and once I am sewing to join, they are not moving, so I don't end up with half a square, not half a square, but you know what I mean, a little bit off. So I like to put one at the end of both squares and then one in the middle. That way I know that I'm not going to be moving my squares when I'm joining them. Now to join, I'm going to be using my tapestry needle and the whip stitch. I find that this method is the easiest for this type of blanket because we have stitches on one side and then the edge of the road on the other side. You can use whatever method you prefer. I really like this one. Also the yarn that we're using, because it's variegated colors, it blends really nicely. This yarn is very forgiving, so that's why I'm using this stitch. If you're using the same color yarn, the stitch it's perfect, but if you're using different colors for this blanket, keep in mind that this method might show if you're using 2 different colors for your squares. So now we're gonna continue joining, and as you can see, the strand of yarn that I have, it's pretty long. I cut the strand long enough to join the whole row, so I have as the least amount of ends to weave in. So cut your strand long enough to join your row, and each row will have 5 squares, and then the columns will be 8 squares, so 8 by 5 squares. So here I have, now I'm going to bring 2 more squares. Again, make sure that you have one that's going horizontally and one that's going vertically. Place your stitch markers to make sure the squares are nice and even and they're not gonna move when you're joining them. And then continue joining your squares. This process took me to join all 40 squares a couple of hours, so it's not that bad. You can definitely have your blanket, all the squares joined and the border done in one day, so that is wonderful. Now again, we're gonna continue doing this. Make sure to join all the rows, and then at the end you can join the columns. We're doing 8 by 5. Okay, now we have all the squares nice and joined, and it's time to make the border. To start the border, you want to begin in one of the squares where the horizontal lines are facing you rather than the other ones where you can see the side. Because we had 24 stitches per square, you want to have 24 stitches on this side as well, and then do all the way around. So we're gonna begin, like I said, in one of these squares that are horizontal to you. You're going to insert your hook in the first stitch on the right, and you're gonna bring up your yarn, and we're gonna work in the back loop only. Again, the same pattern, the half double crochet, to continue with the same look. So you're going to make your half double crochets, and you can also use that to weave in the ends that you have right there. Why not? So now continue doing that. In your first square, you should have 24 stitches because the square has 24 stitches. Now when you get to the next square in here, you need to make 24 stitches evenly. So it doesn't matter where you place your hook, you need to have along the side of that square 24 stitches. So make sure to place them nice and evenly across your square, and then you're gonna do the same thing on the next square until you get to the corner. Once we get to the corner in here, it's nice and simple. We're going to be making 3 half double crochets in the corner. 2 of those half double crochets will count for each side of the square, and the one in the middle is kind of like the one that makes us go turn in that corner. So here I have my 3 half double crochets in one stitch. Now I'm going to turn my blanket and work on the other side. So now I just need to make 23 stitches in here because I have the one from the corner. And then you're gonna do this all the way down the side of your blanket, and you're gonna repeat on the other 3 corners. Once you get to the other side all the way around, you're going to join the round with a slip stitch. You're going to chain 1, and now we're gonna turn the blanket. Turn your work just like that, and we're gonna crochet to the side where we were coming from. And we're doing this just so we can continue with that nice look, the same look as the squares. Now you're going to insert your hook in that very first stitch that we have, and then crochet all the way around your blanket. Again, remember that we're crocheting in the back loop only, including the corner. And when you get to the corner, you need to be making your 3 half double crochets right here in the middle, in the stitch that we placed in the middle. From those 3 stitches, there's where you're going to make your next 3 stitches. So here I'm getting to the corner and I'm making 1, 2, and 3 half double crochets in that same stitch. And now I can turn my blanket and continue working on the other side. And you're gonna repeat that all the way around. And I'm doing in here 3 rounds for the border, but I feel like it would look really nice if you make even more rounds and make it wider. That's totally up to you, but I think it would look super nice if you made that border even wider. So yeah, this is the pattern for today. I hope you guys enjoy this video. As you can see, interlocking these squares gives this very nice look. I feel like the variegated yarn also makes it look even better. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up, like and subscribe if you haven't done it already, and don't forget to check the blog that will be listed in the description below, so you can go ahead and check the written instructions, and you can also purchase the kit straight from the Lion brand website. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.